Someone asked me a simple question in a casual conversation that sparked this Instagram series that I'm now turning into this YouTube video. Why is it called good vibes? Why do we use vibration to describe people and situations? And honestly, if you've never encountered this concept in physics, psychology, or spirituality, and if you've missed all of those posts from The Secret, or the Law of Attraction, or any discourse on manifestation floating around social media and pop culture, it probably does sound quite odd. But here's the thing, there's actually science behind this, and today I'll be breaking it down how spirituality, science, and human consciousness intersect in a simple and easy to understand manner. Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to Athena's Garden TV. I'm excited to be diving deep into something that might completely shift how you understand yourself and the world around you. Before we dive in, if you love content that bridges science, spirituality, and creativity, kindly consider hitting that subscribe button as my channel will be right up your alley. Let's start with a quote from Nikola Tesla, a visionary inventor and physicist best known for pioneering work in electricity and energy. It's a must. He's also a mystic. Quote, "If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Unquote. Now, this isn't just poetic language, this is fundamental physics. Everything in our universe is energy, and energy is always emotion, which echoes the law of vibration from the Hermetic philosophy, which states that everything in the universe is in a constant state of movement. We call these movement vibrations, and the speed at which something vibrates is called its frequency. But here's where it gets juicier. Our thoughts and emotions also vibrate at different frequencies. Your emotional states dictates what vibration your body gives off. Enter Dr. David R. Hawkins, a renowned psychiatrist and spiritual researcher who dedicated over 20 years to calibrating levels of human consciousness. Through the use of applied kinesiology and muscle testing, he developed what's known as the Map of Consciousness, a tool that measures the vibrational frequency of emotions on a logarithmic scale. That means each level isn't just one step up, it's exponentially more powerful than the one below it. For over 2 decades, Dr. Hawkins tested over 250,000 individuals to create this model. And while it's been incredibly influential, his methodology has also drawn criticism. For one, it requires us to trust that our bodies, our muscles, our cells are intelligent and capable of responding to truth. I certainly believe it, but some people don't. There's also the so-called guru effect, where revered figures like Jesus, Buddha, and Mother Teresa are placed on a spiritual pedestal at the top. And yes, this might feel like spiritual elitism, like, oh, you're at 200 and I'm at 488. You are so low vibrational. I'm just kidding. Please do not do that. Herein lies the problem, right? But here's my take. If we use the map as a guide, rather than a measuring stick, using it as a tool to understand our own emotional state to help us navigate our spiritual path and transcend egoic patterns, it is still an empowering tool available to us. I believe we can honor those high vibrational beings while staying centered in our own evolution or our personal spiritual journey. After all, science is catching up with spirituality, and I wouldn't be surprised if future methodologies emerge that can validate or corroborate what I can see in the Akashic records when I read someone's calibration on the Hawkins scale. It's just a matter of time. We're just not quite there yet. Science is still a little trailing behind. So let's look at the map of consciousness together, starting from the bottom. These are the lower vibrational emotional states: shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, and pride. When you're experiencing these emotions, that's the vibe you're broadcasting into the world. And yes, believe it or not, people who are highly clairvoyant, like many Reiki practitioners and energy healers, they can actually see these emotional frequencies as colors in your energy field. Some have attempted to capture this visually through aura photography, also known as Kirlian photography or biofeedback aura imaging, which uses sensors to read the body's electromagnetic field. Now, there's a critical cutoff point right there at 200. Below this line, Dr. Hawkins identified these as negative emotions and frequencies as service to self, what he calls force, which is completely different from power. At this force tier, people operate through manipulation, coercion, emotional or physical abuse, and violence to exert control and dominance. It's all about what can I get from this situation or person. This is winning at the expense of the well-being of another person or situation. But above this line, at 200, we enter what Dr. Hawkins calls power. And this shows up as empowerment, innovation, and positive influence. These are vibrations of service to others, coming from love, reason, and integrity. Another way 0 to 200 is referred to is the survival paradigm. So think about courage, which is having the bravery to stand up for what's right and fight against social injustices. Or neutrality, which is remaining balanced in situations without being influenced by your personal needs or ego. Above here, these are the higher vibrational states that change how you show up in the world. From courage to reason, this part is referred to as the reason and integrity zone. You might notice some similarities from the map of consciousness to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the bottom, these emotions are related to survival needs, while at the top, we're talking about self-actualization and transcendence, or in spirituality lingo, enlightenment. At the highest levels, 500 to 1000, we enter the spiritual paradigm. This is where we find love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. They're similar, but I don't prefer the pyramid shape, and I'll explain why in a second. Now, here's something crucial to understand. We each have a base state, our general vibrational home base in our spiritual journey, but this doesn't mean you stay there 24/7. So it's similar to a baseline in psychology, your home base or vibrational frequency you retrieve to when you are balanced. The truth is, we're human and we actually feel and experience this whole range of the scale, mostly from 20 to 700. When life throws us a curveball, when we face injustice or challenges, it's completely natural to fluctuate between the lower states. And when we meditate or practice gratitude, or when we love others unconditionally, we can easily jump to 500 to 700, even if it's just for a few moments. Here's something that might blow your mind. Dr. Hawkins stated in his book, Power versus Force, that there are a few people who actually operate at 600 to 700 as their base state. Because this is a logarithmic scale, just a few people vibrating at these levels can counterbalance everyone else on Earth who are below 200. In the same book, he stated that one individual at level 500 counterbalanced 750,000 individuals below 200. One individual at 600 counterbalances 10 million individuals below 200. One individual at level 700 counterbalances 70 million individuals below level 200. And 12 individuals at level 700 will equal one avatar at the level 1000. So when we talk about avatars like Jesus, Buddha, and Krishna, who in traditional religious texts, they came to earth to quote-unquote absorb the sins of the world, maybe it's not a stretch at all. They were raising the collective vibration of humanity. And so connecting this to my recent video in the Twin Flames, where when I went into the Akashic Records, I discovered there is an unusual amount of ascended masters incarnated on Earth right now in 2025, you can understand why there's a general sense from the spiritual community that the golden age is on its way, because we have many ascended masters currently uplifting the general frequency of our reality. Okay, so what does this all mean for your daily life? When you hear someone say, raise your vibration, they're actually saying, adjust your emotional state to a higher frequency on the scale. And this is not about becoming someone perfect, a saint, or a perfect being who never feels negative emotions. If someone tells you they never experience these lower vibrational states, that's what we call emotional or spiritual bypassing. And it's not a healthy outlook. What esoteric Buddhism and Taoism teach us is that you should acknowledge the darkness, the lower emotions, but the real work is learning to transmute, transform, and alchemize them. This is the Tao. In fact, this transmutation is essential for manifestation and creation. Without these lower vibrational emotions and experiences, how will we be inspired for innovation? How will we develop the desire for mental clarity and growth? The key takeaway is this. You don't want to stay in lower vibrations for extended periods. You want to use all the tools available to you to recalibrate, refocus, and raise your vibration. Raising your vibration doesn't mean ignoring what happened, pretending everything is fine, or suppressing your emotions. It means acknowledging where you are, then consciously choosing to shift. Think about the family and friends who have your back. That immediately shifts your mentality to gratitude and love, helping you rebalance. Or you can try out this guided meditation I linked here that I created to help you do just that. Now, here's where things get a little magical. I've overlaid the traditional chakra system with the map of consciousness, and look at this perfect correspondence. Not only does this align with the chakra system, it also corresponds perfectly with the visible light spectrum and the electromagnetic spectrum. The same frequencies, the same colors, the same progression, as if by divine design. So let me just walk you through this comparison really quickly. So we have the crown chakra at 700 to 1000, which is part of unity, Christ consciousness, and oneness. We have the third chakra, 540 to 600, sight, vision, clarity, intuition, awareness. And at the throat chakra, between 400 and 500, we have communication, manifestation, intellectualism. When you have ideas, you need to communicate them, and when you use scientific methods to make these theories real, then we have the heart chakra, which of course heart-centered. It's healing, self-acceptance, willingness, and empowerment. And then the solar plexus, wisdom, personal power, courage, even pride. Yes, willpower as well. I think there's a little overlap here, but these are just almost one-to-one match. And then the sacral from 100 to 150, creativity, sexuality, passion. And the root center, 20 to 75, which all involve in trust, safety, survival needs. If you already use the chakra system in yoga or meditation, this gives you an incredible shortcut for understanding and working with your vibrational state. Maybe for you, it's music and thinking of a musical scale of consciousness and simply raising your frequency through music. Something to think about. So the next time someone asks you about good vibes, you can share the fascinating science behind why we use this language. And we're talking about these measurable frequencies of human consciousness that affect not just how we feel, but how we impact everyone around us. final friendly reminder, this isn't about perfection or staying in high vibes or positive all the time. It's about awareness, growth, and consciously choosing how you want to show up in the world. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is your go-to method for raising your vibration when life gets challenging? Do you use meditation, gratitude practice? Do you spend time in nature? Drop your favorite techniques in the comments below. And if this content resonated with you, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Athena's Garden TV for more content that bridges science, spirituality, and practical wisdom for your daily life. Stay tuned for part 2. Until then, keep growing, keep glowing, and remember, you have the power to consciously choose your vibration in every moment.